So I'm currently sweating this parlay because I got more bonus
Wait,
bets.
wait. First, let's take a timeout.
All right, fellas, welcome back to episode 3 of
Welcome
the
back.
T&T Timeout podcast. I'm still Trevor,
I'm still Trey. Musical intro coming soon. No, it's
and
not.
I'm still. Oh wait, should I get something going?
Yeah, aren't you a professional harmonica player? Semi-pro?
I don't know how this is going to come through the microphone.
That sounds good.
All
Welcome
right,
back.
but I'm sweating. I'm sweating this parlay though. We got to start.
What
here.
is it?
We're filming at 8:45 on Wednesday evening. You'll see this in the morning. Pistons money line. It's currently halftime. They're up 69 to 51.
Nice.
They were plus 140.
Nice.
And Mavericks money line, who was also plus 140, and they are down 55 to 53 at half.
Nice.
So
That's not bad.
you could see me getting a little excited throughout this episode.
Okay.
That was plus 485.
That sounds nice. I feel like
I'm
Mavs
excited
plus
about
money is
it.
always good.
But anyway,
Yeah, I was at dinner.
How was
so
your
we're
weekend?
recording this a little later. My week was good. My weekend was good. Did some more birthday stuff. Went to some dinners. Was at dinner tonight with my grandparents for me and my girlfriend's birthday. Just kind of chilled out. The snow permitted my Eagles party I talked about last week, so I was just at my house, but we had fun. Eagles won, so it was a good time. What did you
very
do?
nice.
Oh, yeah, I know you had your 3 o'clock brunch.
I was at my very late brunch, and to be honest, it ended up being a pretty good spot for the Eagles game, if I'm being honest. But
Nice.
I did have to say, like, because it was some of my coworkers, I had to say, like, going into the fourth quarter, I was like, okay, I'm sorry, but I'm going to go to the bathroom when this quarter ends, and when I come back, I'm going to be extremely obnoxious for the next 30 minutes. And then I was just standing up in this bar, yelling at the TV. When Saquon scored and did the Penn State celly, I was like running
Yeah.
up and down. And this was a very crowded bar. I was doing
You
the
were
celly in the bar like a wrecking ball. Yeah, it was
Yeah,
pretty awesome.
his
though.
60 yarders were electric. I mean, we could talk more about it in a little bit. We got some games to recap, some games to predict, some other stuff to talk about. I don't know if you want to get into it right now.
Yeah.
What flavor is that?
Let me just.
Peach mango?
This is a peach mango of insert sports
Good
drink
flavor.
here. Still
Yeah,
waiting
good
for,
flavor. I love insert sports drink here. I just tried for the first time strawberry watermelon, 0 sugar, and it was incredible.
I've never had that one, but I'm gonna have to give it a try.
I saw it
Because
in an 8-pack at Giant, and it was good.
I'm not afraid of the sugar drinks, but like, if I'm drinking a
I think the
sports
light ones
drink,
taste
why would
better.
I not? Yeah, and why would you not
Yeah.
drink? It's a sports drink, and I'm not doing a sport.
Yeah, you know what?
Maybe
This
if I
isn't
was
a
doing
sports.
sport.
This isn't a sports podcast this week. This is gonna be a health and safety podcast. Red Dye 3 got banned. Everybody. Red 40 coming up.
So
No.
life
no.
is all about balance. And next to my insert sports drink here,
Is that a
I
glass
am
of
sipping-
water on the rocks?
it's a glass of insert beverage here on the rocks.
Me as well.
All right, let's get into it though. First
water.
game of the week, we had the refs versus the Texans, or
Yeah,
sorry,
ref-
the
oh, wait,
Chiefs
wait.
versus the Texans.
Oh no, Chiefs had a bye.
Oh, I forgot.
It was
So
it was refs. No,
instantly,
it was refs and Chiefs. Refs and Chiefs.
I'm gonna say one good thing about this team first. Travis Kelce's really good in the playoffs.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
He's.
Playoff
I don't
Kelce.
know how that. I don't know how that gentleman makes a very unathletic looking move and somehow finds himself in open space, but clearly knows the game of football very well. Patrick Mahomes clearly knows the game of football very well, but dude, if there was one thing that pissed me off more than the refs, it was that Patrick Mahomes play when he was running out of bounds and he slowed down to try to get a late hit
And then
call.
and flopped.
I hate that, dude.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I want to say it was like a good game, but like, I don't know, it wasn't that good.
And I mean, I don't think they looked amazing.
No.
And I feel like every week I've been like, The Bills are going to lose. The Bills are going to lose. I did it twice now. Well, I said the Bills would win,
And
but
I
the
mean,
Broncos...
I said the Bills were going to win. The Bills are going to win just for the record.
You did. But I feel like the Bills are going to win this week because the Chiefs did not look very good at football. But anyway, I gave a hot take last week. I think I said Xavier Worthy would get 4 or 5 carries, and his rushing over would hit.
You said 3 carries for 20 yards, and his first carry was for -10.
It was -8, and if that clearly it was in the game plan, and the Texans sniffed it out. So I guess I'm not that clever. I'm not that clever because the Texans also got the memo.
You're clever because they're also clever. So you were thinking on the same level as them, but you should have
right.
been double thinking that.
Right.
I forgot what I was going
to say. Like, the game shifted on a dime when the Texans sacked Patrick Mahomes, but actually he threw a touchdown to Travis Kelce.
Yeah,
and
that
I
was
have
nuts.
to just give it. That's amazing. That
was
is quite literally amazing.
I was at dinner for my birthday during, like, in the middle of the game, so, like, I was kind of watching it because there was a TV there still. But when we left, I started watching it again, and I was, like, recapping my dad on, like, the penalties, and I was showing him, like, the penalties that were called that shouldn't have been penalties. And then I was like, oh, Mahomes is getting sacked. And I was like, oh, he actually just made a really good throw. So, like, we were just talking trash on him, like, 30 seconds before, but I was like, oh, that was, like, actually a really good throw. Like, I give him props, so they did earn that one, I guess. But
he just
looked
Chiefs,
like
Trey
Chiefs
Young.
didn't look fantastic, so... But I don't think it matters that the Chiefs didn't look fantastic because they're still the Chiefs is still the Chiefs, and they're still in the playoffs. So they're still going to be scary next week. I mean, they're favored for when we talk about it in a couple of minutes, but
I agree with you.
And we can move on to next game if you want.
If you want. My last thing I will say is that I think I decided what makes Patrick Mahomes so good, and I don't think it's groundbreaking, but I think he is. If you look at, like, some of the best quarterbacks, they're either extremely ridiculously athletic and can do crazy things, or they're just really smart and they know to do football really well.
I was going to guess you were going to say that.
He is just both.
I think he's a little, like, this is going to sound stupid, but he has a little bit of, like, Carson Wentz in him, where, like, sometimes he just doesn't care. Like, he plays, like, backyard football, but like sometimes that's like the smart thing to do. Like, when he needs to roll out and make these stupid throws, like he forgets, like, not forget, but he purposely doesn't do, like, the rigid normal quarterback motions, and he drops his arm angled, tries to trick people, and, like, it works for him. And he doesn't do it too much. He doesn't get too tricky with it. So, like, it has a good balance. And yeah, he's definitely a very smart football player. He's a very high football IQ. I mean, yeah,
I agree.
Patrick Mahomes is really, really, really good. It's just the way the Chiefs have been winning, and I don't know. It doesn't feel like they should be here, but yet they are. I guess they're just the new Patriots, and they're just always going to be here. But 7 conference championships in a row. They're like the Astros.
It's pretty impressive.
Astros made, I think, 7 in a row before this year, and the Chiefs is the Chiefs. And then the game after this one was much better. Very exciting. Until, like, the fourth quarter, I guess. But Lions Commanders.
That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was. I wanted a good, fun game, and we got a good, fun game, and we got an upset. I said it last week. Every year, there's a team. It was the Bengals, it was the Rams, it was the Bucks. This year, it's the Commies. The Commanders upset the Lions as 9.5-point underdogs in the playoffs. Beat them by 17, something like that.
Something like that.
Nuts, and they looked like they should. It wasn't like the Lions played bad. The Lions were playing pretty well. The Commanders just played better.
So I actually saw somebody say something that I really liked, and it said, I think at this point the Lions should realize that Jared Goff is someone that they can win with, but not because of. And I thought that was really true. I think he's a good quarterback, but I think sometimes they rely on him to do some crazy things.
Jared Goff.
Honestly,
Jared Goff.
Do you agree or disagree that at a certain point the Lions tried to get so creative on offense that it was just hurting them? Like, why is Jameson Williams running that reverse pass?
That's
Ironically, didn't the someone else ran a similar play? a reverse pass. Was it the Commanders?
Bears did a Sammer play, and Keenan Allen threw it, and he just there was no one there, and he just threw it, and he got picked off by the Packers week 18 or something. Yeah.
Okay.
But what I was just saying about
week that
Mahomes is so smart and knows, and the Chiefs and Reed know how to balance that. But yeah, the Lions sometimes do get a little crazy on the trick plays and trying to overthink their opponents when they could just run the damn ball.
That being said, counter trap block, shovel pass to Amon-Ra St. Brown. That was electric. That was one of the coolest plays I've seen in a long time. Do you know which play I'm talking about?
Yes.
They had Amon-Ra in motion, and they hand the ball off, I think it was to Montgomery, or maybe they even pitched it to him. And he shovel passes it forwards through the line. Basically,
I lied. I didn't know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
That's why I explained it.
I knew what you were talking about. I knew there was a play, and I remember being that play was awesome. And then no one caring because I was just watching with my girlfriend. But now I know you're talking about that play was sick. I watched that, and then I think Brady was I've never seen that before, and the people I was watching with were he's seen that before, and I was I don't know if he has. It wasn't that crazy of a concept, I guess, but it was a really unique play.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that. And I'm gonna go on a quick tangent, but I was somehow stumbled upon a bunch of videos talking about different concepts and cool things that happened in the games this weekend, and then one of our buddies, Dylan, told me to go watch I think it's called The Breakdown with Bill and Peyton or something like that. Mm-hmm. I saw one of the coolest plays where they had Puka Nacua. This was a regular season game. They were previewing the Vikings-Rams a couple weeks ago. Mm-hmm. They had him split out wide. He came in motion, and then he ran through the line, and he rubbed a linebacker like he was going to block. Mm-hmm. And they ran play action. He rubbed a linebacker, and then he cut across the field, and he was wide open. It was I love when teams do something you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Motion and something you've never seen before, and there was so much of that, at least from the Lions.
Yeah. I think we're seeing a lot more offensive-minded and creative coaches. I think Ben Johnson on the Bears next year they're gonna be pretty tricky because I think he was a reason for most of those plays for the Lions.
Yeah, I don't want to get ahead of ourselves, but how do you think that's going to work out? Do you think? I think that Caleb Williams might be talented.
Yeah,
I can't say for sure, but I feel like every time the Bears draft a quarterback, I'm he might be talented. Justin Fields, I liked for a really long time, and I still would probably say the Steelers should go with him. Caleb Williams, I feel like it can be inaccurate, but he didn't have much help in terms of protection. But I'm excited to see what they do creatively.
Yeah, I liked Ben Johnson for a while. I have said for a couple of years that he was going to be a head coach, and then he kept not intervening because he wanted to stick with the Lions, which I respect. I think now was the time to get out and be his own man, try to be his own coach. So I'm excited for him. I like him a lot. He's really young. And you're saying about Fields. I think the Steelers should stick with Fields. I think they should not draft Fields. I think they should stick with Fields and draft a lower end QB. Maybe a Will Howard.
Dude, I saw
maybe someone a little better than Will Howard, but I think that'd be a good fit.
I saw the most disrespectful post of all time, and I don't want to get these names wrong because of how funny it is. There was a couple extreme disses in this post, and one of them was a Will Howard comp, and the other was a Judkins comp. You ready for this? Will Howard, ceiling, Daniel Jones, floor, Mason Rudolph. And then here's the one for Judkins.
Wait, let me guess. Oh, wait, is it Sony Michel and whatever you said?
Ceiling, Kareem Hunt, floor, Sony Michel. I mean, who comes up with that, man? Those guys are decent running backs, but that's...
Sony Michel wasn't really a decent running back. Kareem Hunt's a decent
he's the floor, though. He's the floor.
Yeah.
Kareem Hunt is your ceiling.
Hey, Kareem Hunt was pretty good.
Yeah,
so it was pretty good.
5 carries for 1 yard and a touchdown.
I mean, not this week, I'm saying. When he was younger, he was pretty good.
Yes, fair.
before he started
I
beating women.
do. I want to get to the other side of the ball because we were talking about how creative the Lions are.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that the Commanders aren't creative, but have you seen like all this hype around the VR that Jaden Daniels is doing? Have you
Oh,
seen this?
I've seen like a lot. I've seen it, but I haven't seen like that much on it.
So apparently it started when he was in college. He had like a concussion week, and like he was not going to be prepared going into the game. Like he wasn't not even able to practice till he might not have been able to practice all week. So there's like this company that created VR originally for soccer, and he ended up like reaching out. Maybe he reached out or they reached out to him, but anyway, he started this in college where he basically plays quarterback in VR, and they like build the entire stadium in there up like down to the scoreboards. It's like you're there. They pump in noise and everything. And then they import, like the coaches can import all these defensive schemes that are run, but they run them at 1.75 speed. So he's actually like playing until he can make the reads almost twice as fast as he has to because
So when he's real time, it feels like it's slow.
that's what they said, yeah.
Wow.
And I guess when he was drafted, it was conditional. He said he wouldn't sign a contract unless
They had like a
team
VR setup.
brought in VR, which is pretty sick, honestly.
I think I remember seeing that draft time. Like he said, like they needed a whole like VR like setup simulator thing.
But it seems really cool, and
Yeah.
I feel like something that well, what the heck is the coach's name? Cliff Kingsbury.
Yeah, offense coordinator.
Yeah, he
Coach is Dan Quinn.
is he's like a quarterback whisperer, and something I saw about him that I kind of agreed with is that he lets Jaden Daniels run really simple offense, and Jaden Daniels is ridiculously talented, but they're not making him like overthink the game, and he's also doing all this VR stuff, and I'm like, damn, it's pretty cool stuff. If you look, they ran like the same. I don't know why I'm blanking right now on what I was just about to say.
Same, like,
they were
set?
running mesh. They were running mesh concept on like every fourth down, and they go for it so much, and they're so efficient. And they were running like mesh rail, which is like what you would run in Madden. It's just bring a guy across the field, send a running back up the field to split him vertically.
Yeah.
Boom. And it's like so simple, but I was like, that is pretty cool to think
It's
about.
hard to
like,
defend.
one team's doing all this creative stuff, and the other one's like, just play quarterback.
Yeah,
but also
defenses
the guys making
overthink
the
it then, and then they just run the same thing.
That throw, I think it was to Brown, De'Ami Brown, with the high safety. That was like the best ball I've seen.
Yeah, he looked
this year
very good. I'm definitely not looking past the Commanders this week because they, I mean, mainly just, I guess it wasn't even like the whole team that looked incredible, but just Jaden and Terry looked really good. I'm still not impressed with the Commanders' defense at all, and we'll talk about it in a little bit. But we went on a couple tangents there. We can get into the next. What was the next game? Eagles was the next game.
Oh,
that
was
the
so
Eagles.
fun.
Fun game.
That was so fun. I mean, I almost had wished I was not an Eagles fan because it was amazing to watch as an Eagles fan.
Yeah, I wanted
you
to
could have been anyone.
Climb to the top of the
that.
Eiffel Tower and jump in the last drive, but I didn't. And luckily, we held on. I mean, as soon as the Rams got the ball down 13, and it looked like our defense just like was playing like, yeah, you can get whatever you want. I was like, we're losing the game. We think we're going to be able to run this clock out, and they know we're running now because it's obvious. And they scored a touchdown. They stopped us on the run. They got the ball back, and I was like, oh my god, I was freaking out. I was like, we've dominated this game, and we're going to lose. And then luckily, finally, when they got to like the 20-yard line, our defense clamped. Thank you, Jalen Carter. Thank you, Slay, except for that one catch on Puka Nacua. He jumped way too early. It's kind of pathetic. But Slay was playing very, very well. So I got to give him props still. Quignon, for the 3 plays he was in until he got hurt, he should be good. He played well.
Yeah.
And then, just the whole defense was playing. Bond was playing really well. So I'm hoping we just keep carrying over our defense playing well, and hopefully our offense just keeps getting better every week.
Bond's a legend.
Yeah, he's calling the plays next week with Dean out.
Yeah. Selfishly, I can't say that I have a ton to say about the Rams, which is
Mm-hmm.
disappointing. But like, they kept it pretty close, and then we kind of peeled away.
Yeah,
at
Stafford
the end.
looked good. Stafford looked good,
Yeah.
except for that he's a statue, and the snow did not help him because when there was pressure, he wasn't going anywhere, except for his like one little 6-yard run he had at the very beginning of the game. If there was any pressure on him, he was either tucking it and taking it down or throwing it away. But he made some great throws, and even being down by a good bit, and the Eagles seemingly like dominating offensively with like Saquon. Rams they kept fighting.
Yeah, absolutely.
But Puka had a drop, and then Stafford had the fumble, and then Kyron had there was another fumble in there somewhere. So it wasn't looking pretty,
Kyron
but
fumbled. He might have recovered it.
they had two. I think they had two fumbles that we recovered. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Saquon absolutely went off. I mean, it's snowing.
Everybody's seen the stats. 2 60-yard touchdowns. First time in history a player's gone 200 yards against a team in the regular season and the postseason. The guy is 130, 40 yards off the all-time regular season plus postseason rushing and scrimmage yard, scrimmage yard record. The guy is crazy. I mean, the Commanders don't have the greatest of defense. Not the worst, not the best. So I don't see him stopping. He did that in the snow.
I also was seeing that Jalen Hurts touchdown, the one that started the game.
Mm-hmm.
He checked into it, and it was beautiful.
Yeah, the Eagles seem like they're having a lot of fun, which I love. It seems like there's great chemistry. You saw before the Saquon second touchdown, he like whispered something to Hurts and like smiled, and then he ran for a 78-yard touchdown. And then after the game, they're all celebrating. AJ Brown's posting on his IG story, Darius Slay making fun of his tattoo, looking like Odell Beckham or whatever. They just seem like they're having fun and just playing football with each other, and like I love that. They're not overthinking it.
Did you hear what Saquon said by any chance?
No.
He said, he was like, "Yo, am I on the wrong side?" And
I didn't see that.
Nah. So he like didn't know the play.
The first thing I saw was
just
that
like took the ball.
Someone thought he said like, I got this or something like you know what's about to happen.
Yeah,
but
maybe
they asked Hurts about it, and Hurts was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember him.
They
talking
asked
to me.
Saquon, and he said that he was like, "Am I on the wrong side?" And he was like, "Nah." And then he said something like that would give away the play, but I don't know, like, how would you be on the other side? He must have thought it was a counter because he ran to the right side, and the line like pulled blockers to that side. But that guy's just awesome. And if you notice, like, he was like pretty patient and slow, and then as soon as he was like he was like in line with the two defenders, he just took off. And I don't know what he was talking to Shady about, but apparently Shady like gave him the blueprint, like him and his equipment manager like told him what he did to go off. I kind of think that's crap. Like, what do you tell a guy? Like, what do you tell a guy that he's just going to adapt?
Saquon and Shady both said that like before the game, he told the equipment staff and Saquon like what cleat studs to use, what's the best like ankle like tape job you can do, like he gave him like the formula for running in the snow and how to be efficient in it, which I think is like really cool. That like
that's super cool.
Shady, obviously
really
really famous for running in the snow, like reached out and was like, hey, just like want to give you a little pointer. And then I don't know if it's what Shady said that helped them or if it's Saquon's just that good, which it probably is just Saquon. But that's really cool that he like reached out and Saquon also like listened and took the advice.
I feel like it's both, but yeah, super cool.
Yeah.
I still don't want to say the Rams played a bad game though. It was close and a scared all game, but super fun game.
Yeah. I feel like we got a little comfortable once we got that last touchdown. I feel like it could have been worse for the Rams if like I don't know, it seemingly seemed like we did not I don't want to say we gave up, but we got comfortable with our lead, and we thought that Saquon touchdown was like the game ender, but there was plenty of game left, which was a little scary. But hopefully, I said before, the Eagles are good at taking like losses and overcoming from that. So I hope they see that and take it into the next 2 weeks. Hopefully, like saying like don't let off the gas, don't play prevent defense, just let's just do us.
I feel like All right, what do we got next? I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah.
I was going to say something about a different game.
Last game in divisional round. Um,
Bills Ravens.
Ravens, Bills. Yeah.
Mark Andrews.
Mark Andrews, that guy, that poor guy. It was a
Oh.
perfect throw. It was right. I mean, he could have, like, the ultimate possession catch. He could have just fell with it, and he just.
Yeah, he's probably thinking about his 14-year-old girlfriend instead of the football game.
Whoa! I didn't hear this. What?
He's dating like a 24-year-old girl. He's like 40.
He's not 40.
He's not 40, but
Come on.
do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Let me look this up.
He's 29.
Are you serious?
I looked up his contract for dynasty purposes because I have likely. He's only been in the league like 4 years, which I think is crazy.
That blows.
I feel like he's been in the year like
my
20,
mind.
like maybe 5. It might have been 5 years, but I feel like he's been in the league forever. He's only
All right,
29 years old.
I feel terrible for saying this
Yeah,
now. I didn't realize he's 28.
Come on, the guy just dropped a game-tying touchdown or
Okay,
two,
she's
two-point
21
version.
though. She's 21 though.
8
Isn't
years.
that a little weird to think that like last
How long-
year she couldn't get a drink with him?
How long have they been dating for?
October. So
Oh, they're fine.
I guess you're right. I was just being a little bit of a hater, but
I think you're just a little jealous.
jealous that she's dating Mark Andrews. Yeah, I wish I was dating Mark Andrews. So then we could do missionary and drink vodka cran.
And watch Mike Evans highlights. Shout out to my Uncle Jordan for watching the pod. He liked
Yeah,
that
shout out
missionary
Uncle
line a
Jordan.
lot. I don't think he's gonna watch it. I don't think he's gonna watch this.
All right, but that
yeah,
whole
back
game
to the,
though,
back to the game. Let's talk about the game actually.
I'm gonna need you to carry me here. I was selling pretty hard after that
Oh, yeah,
Eagles game.
Yeah, you seemed a little turned
was-
up on Sunday.
I was watching, but I was
watched
on the Ravens
intently,
for some reason.
so I can carry. I watched very intently.
Give us the lowdown, the rundown.
So first drive of the game. No, I'm not going to give you a play-by-play, but yeah, it was a great game. A great game for Bills fans and for football fans probably, but not a great game for Ravens fans because it seemed like the Bills had it the entire time. Like they were pretty much up the whole game. They were doing whatever they wanted, not whatever they wanted, but most of what they wanted on offense. And it seems like whenever they needed to score, they scored. And the Ravens, Mark Andrews, poor guy, fumbled too. Like people kind of forget about the fumble because the 2-point conversion was so bad, but he had a lane to run right up the field, and he tried to run around a defender instead, and then fumbled. And then there was a pick, I believe, early, and there's 3 turnovers. And I mean, Lamar said in his press conference, he was just like, we'll blur it in the edit. He was saying like the turnovers are unacceptable. I mean, yeah, turning the ball over 3 times in playoffs, like you can't expect a win if you do that. But it was a great game. It was just a classic game. There wasn't anything too crazy about it, but I was having fun because I wanted the Bills to win because I feel like they're just a better team, and I picked them and everything. But it was good. Yeah.
So I was 5-1. You were 4-2.
Yeah, I got a leaderboard update.
Okay. I think we're
We
tied
both
up
went.
now.
No, we both went 1-3 last week. Yeah.
Really?
Well, I got the Bills right. You got the Ravens wrong. We both got the Eagles wrong because they were 6.5 and they only won by 6. We're doing spreads.
Chiefs.
We
didn't
both got
cover.
the lines wrong, and then you picked the Chiefs who covered. We had them at 8.5. I think they won by 9, and I took the Texans plus 8.5, and they lost by 9. Which in that game, it feels like the Texans should have covered, but they didn't, which is okay.
And I'm guessing that the spread on that Ravens game was like 1.5.
It was 1. Oh, yeah, it was 1.
And they lost.
Yeah,
Okay.
even if it was 1.5. I think we did it at 1, but even if it was 1.5, well, the Bills won anyway, so it didn't matter. Bills are
Yep.
underdogs.
Oh, word. Okay.
Yeah.
I see.
So you're
that's
6-4
bad.
on the playoffs. I'm 5-5 on the playoffs. So these next 3 games will decide who's the greatest spreads picker of all time.
Well, let's get into it then.
I was gonna
Did
pull
my
up.
overs hit? What did I call it? My overs hit.
Oh, the overs hit. Yeah.
Oh,
I feel like I was forgetting something from the Bills Ravens game.
that's disgusting.
I think I just want to touch on I guess I can talk about this next game kind of, but like the combination of Ty Johnson, Ray Davis, and James Cook is and Josh Allen is ridiculous. Like they can.
I mean, Ty Johnson is the best third
Yeah.
down back in football. I've been saying that all year.
I said during the game the Bills are going to collect the Infinity Stones for rushing touchdowns in a game, and they're all going to score because Ty Johnson is such a good receiving back. Ray Davis is a great straight line runner, and James Cook is a good every down back, and then Josh Allen is a mobile quarterback. I feel like they can do whatever they want on the ground, and that's a little scary because if the run's not working, Josh Allen is also an incredible passer. I know he only threw for 127 yards and no touchdowns this game, but he was 16 for 22, and he didn't need to throw the ball because they were up the entire time. So I wouldn't look too far into that. Shakir still had 6 for 67, which is pretty good for him. So I feel like at any time, if the Bills were down, Josh Allen could have just thrown the ball all over the place against the Swiss cheese defense the Ravens have. So that the Bills team is complete. Their defense did look. I think I said last week that the Ravens defense is bad, but the Bills defense isn't great, but it's also not bad. But I think they're maybe a little better than I was giving them credit for because they're still not definitely a top defense in the league, but they were looking pretty good on some of those series against the Ravens. And the Ravens have a really high-powered offense as well. But yeah, we can move on to the future conference championships this Sunday. First game, Washington Commanders going to Philadelphia. No snow. Spread is 6.5 in favor of the Eagles.
Yeah. The spread's hard to pick. I'm not gonna lie.
That doesn't seem like a lot.
The Eagles' defense is far better than what we see in the Lions' defense, and I think that they'll be able to slow down. Also, like I was saying, they run some pretty basic concepts over there in Washington. And I also think, VR all you want, but if you show me, sorry, I probably got lights going off my face, but we got a 6-point game in Dallas, and I got to check this out. But if you, this is going to sound funny, but if you run the Eagles defense in 1.75 speed, what do? Dump the ball off every time? That doesn't even make sense. I'm just being funny
fast,
about
high-powered
this.
defense, but yeah, the VR I don't think is gonna help them in the conference championship.
About the VR.
Yeah.
Also, I just clicked the wrong thing. I'm now watching the Commanders-Lions replay. It's 24-21 right now. I think that the defense is going to be just fine slowing down Jaden Daniels. We beat him once this year. We lost once. We didn't have Hurts, and we got real sloppy on that last drive.
Yeah.
It does make me a little nervous about the spread, though.
I was talking at dinner actually about I'm not worried that we lost to them at all in the regular season. That was the Devonta Smith drop ball game, and Hurts was hurt, and we just played very terribly, and it was we were winning. That was our game to win, and we just gave it to them. So I'm not really worried about that. If anything, it gives them hopefully a false confidence because they're we beat the Eagles. But yeah, I agree. The Eagles defense is looking so good, and it's probably worse because we're Eagles fans, probably being a little obnoxious about it, but the Eagles defense is good, and our offensive line is so good, and Saquon is so good, and Hurts hasn't been the best, and Brown hasn't been the best. Smith's been pretty good. Goddard's been pretty good, but it doesn't even matter because just the way Lane Johnson and Dickerson and Juergens pull that line and make gaps, and Saquon, it's been disgusting. He can do whatever he wants. He's been getting, his line is 130 yards this game. That's crazy for a playoff game.
That would probably give him the record if that's even what he's, you know what I mean? If that's what he's projected.
Yeah, I think it was I think it was 137 yards off or something. and he still
Okay.
could have another game potentially.
I feel like it really came to light when you saw Kelsey in the year that the Eagles won the Super Bowl, and everybody was like, "Look how ridiculous this guy is on the offensive line." Their line creates everything. Like they move well, and they play extremely well. And everything starts from what do we say? The game was won in the trenches. Both sides of the ball were pretty great on the line.
And yeah, both Eagles trenches are incredible.
I've got a lot of confidence.
And this is an Eagles defense that has Jalen Carter, Nolan Smith, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams right now. The Eagles also have Bryce Huff, who hasn't had the best season, but he's a Pro Bowl edge, and we played him for one snap last game. And also Brandon Graham will be coming back if we make it to the next round, potentially this round, but I don't think so. I think that was him goofing
really?
around. Yeah, I think after the game, someone was like, "You coming back next week?" He was like, "Let's see," but I think he was just messing around. But I think if take that D line and then add Bryce Huff, Jordan Davis, 6'10", 450-pound Jordan Davis, and Brand Graham, Bryce Huff, and Jordan Davis as all depth pieces to help guys get rest. Like that's nuts. No one's getting tired on that defensive line. And then our secondary, Slay has been playing like he's 25 again. Mitchell and DeJean have been playing very well. Rodgers, when he comes in, for being a backup corner, he's been playing really well. And our CJ, GJ, and Reed have been incredible. And then our linebackers, we obviously lost Dean, but I said last week I'm not really worried about Oren Burks. I think when he gets the plays, he'll be pretty well. And this was his first start actually, or second start, and he played fine. He was making plays. They said his name a couple times on the broadcast. There's not a single weak point on the entire Eagles team, except maybe you could say right now our kicking. Yeah. But even he did make every field goal in the snow. It's just I think he has the yips on the extra points. I'm not worried about Jake Elliott. He's Jake Elliott.
Shout out to the holder, man.
Yeah, I mean, Brain Man was holding it down. And shout out to the line for swiping the snow away. But
so
I was
like the line will do anything to win that game.
Yeah, but I was say our weakness. I was joking about Elliott. The weakness you could say is Hurts, and it's not like he's playing atrociously. He's just maybe not having the best reads, maybe not getting the ball away on some things, maybe not putting the best ball out there. But he's still playing adequate ball, and then being complimented by the line and Saquon, and having great receivers out there, he's playing fine. And I think he'll only get better. Hopefully, I said this. Divisional round or wild card round, he didn't play very well, but hopefully he gets better. He played a little better, I think, this round, and hopefully he improves and plays better. He was out 3 weeks with a concussion, so I think he's kind of shaking the rust off, and hopefully, I don't think we made a pick actually. I'll take Eagles minus 6.5.
I will as well. And just one comment about Hurts, like I mentioned earlier, how he checked into that quarterback run and he scored. I don't really. If you can't throw he can throw the football. Yeah. Maybe he's not the greatest arm in the NFL, but he can throw the football well. It's not like he's bad. But if you can check into the right play, that's the quarterback position. If the right play is to hand the ball to Saquon every time, and they're showing a defense where you can run Saquon every time, I don't really care if you decide to run Saquon every time. Like if you're making the right decision and you can win a football game, you're going to win a football game. Like that's that. So I feel good about him. And I'm also going to take the Eagles spread.
Yeah. I feel like Hurts sometimes that's like his big knock. Is sometimes he makes some bad decisions. But I think the way the Eagles have been playing, we're playing very, very slow, very fun. So I think he has been making some good decisions. Because I think most of our passing plays, have just been like over the middle, short passes, but they work. Like quick slant to Brown, barely. Well, we don't use Brown. Maybe a quick slant to Smith. Or like a quick tight end screen or something like that, but they're working. So like, why stop doing them? So I don't disagree with like the play calls or what Hurts is doing, because why try to do something crazy when we're winning games the whole game by 2 scores?
Yeah, I agree.
With that said,
to an absolutely, it feels like an instant classic already, doesn't it? Every time.
Can Josh Allen finally beat the Chiefs? It is Bills at Chiefs. Chiefs are minus 1.5. Very similar to last week with Bills Ravens. It is Bills Chiefs.
And now I need to make a decision for the third time. Does the black magic still exist? Are you convinced yet that the black magic exists?
I mean, it's crazy. It seems like every week they play like worse, or like they do something where like the Chiefs should not win this game. Like the game started and the Texans were dry. The Texans scored and it was like the Texans are better than the Chiefs. Like the Chiefs team doesn't look that good. It's just the Chiefs is the Chiefs, but
they just win.
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's like I want to take the Bills because I mean, who wants the Chiefs to win? But
could we get an insert sportsbook here spread? I don't know the spread.
1.5. If you listen to me, you'd know.
Yeah, I don't listen very well.
It's a minus 1.5 Chiefs.
In favor of the Chiefs?
Chiefs. Okay. Chiefs are minus 1.5. Yeah, I will take the Bills money line plus 1.5, whatever you want to give me. The Bills are really good. You guys were all sleeping on the Bills last week. You slept on the Bills week 1. The Bills are the best team in the AFC. Not in the playoffs. Bills are the best team in the AFC. They have been rolling. Josh Allen, they've actually been looking good entire games. And I think they can finally put out the dark magic, finish their story. Like Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. Josh Allen will finish his story and then lose in the Super Bowl. But that's for next week.
I'll take the Bills as well. I think that the Chiefs win really good games. They win games against teams that are good, but we haven't really seen them win against teams that are great.
They lost to the Bills this season already. That's their only real loss.
And the Bills are fantastic. I mean, you can do all your black magic, whatever you want, but they're not like that good in terms of just like raw football. They just play really smart and they get things done. But I don't think just getting things done, I don't think they have the talent. Even if they play a perfect game, I don't know. They would still be counting on the Bills to make mistakes. And I don't think the Bills are going to make mistakes this week. I think Josh Allen deserves it. And I think that the city is, not the city, but probably the entire country is going to burn down when there's a parking lot full of Bills and Eagles fans.
Yeah, in Louisiana, in New Orleans, it's gonna be nuts. Well, potentially nuts, allegedly. But I was gonna throw a stat out there. I'm gonna read you the scores the score of the Chiefs in every game this season. 23, not counting the Broncos game last week. 23, 29, 27, 21, 19, 19, 30, 21, 16, 30. 27, 28, 26, 17, 22, 26, 27. All in the 20s. The Bills score 30 points every game.
Yeah.
So, like, the Chiefs' offense has not been that powerful, and their defense has been a little banged up. Their defense is pretty good. I think probably better than the Bills. But the Bills, I don't know. I feel like I'm being a broken record just saying, like, their offense is better or their offense is worse, whatever. But I think there was the Commanders, the Lions, and the Bills who like can just score whenever they want. And the Lions are out. Commanders have been doing that, but they're playing now a really good defense. And it's the Bills are there, and the Chiefs defense isn't that great. They haven't been playing that game that well. And their offense isn't that high-powered. They've been barely scoring 20 points a game, and the Bills score 5 rushing touchdowns a game. So, yeah, I think the Bills. This is my bold. You gave a bold take last week. I'm gonna give a bold take. I think both these games are gonna be two-digit wins.
Wow.
I think
for your teams or just in general.
Nope. I'll say Eagles win by I'll say 2 touchdown games. I'll be even bolder.
Wow.
Because when the Eagles line opened, it was 4.5, and it jumped to 6.5 now. I think that is on purpose because I think they opened it as that because they had really high hopes on the Commanders. But I think they're moving it back slowly, realizing that like the Eagles are really good. And I could see us like stomping out this like rookie run by Jane Daniels and that offense with our defense. And then I'm not saying we score a bunch of points, but maybe we just limit them to not scoring 40-30. So maybe it's like a, I don't know, 17-31 win. Maybe 2 touchdowns is a little much. I'm gonna go back to I'm gonna bring it back down to 10 points. Maybe it's like
I
a
like
30-20 win, and then Bills I think win like 33-23 or something,
I
34-24.
like that. Okay, I like that.
You got anything else on
Well,
divisional round?
I don't think so.
We'll be able to talk about. Next week. We'll be able to talk about the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, next week will probably be. If anyone's sick of just hearing recaps and predictions, next week will probably be fun.
We'll probably have a
Be
bunch of
deep in our
topics.
bag.
We can save our Super Bowl talk for 2 weeks because it'll be in 2 weeks. So there's no point in like predicting 10 days in advance when we can predict 3 days in advance or whatever.
Recap next week, prediction the week after.
Yeah. You want to talk about the CFP national champion, or
Sure.
I have something random to talk about, kind of. There you go.
I mean,
There
should we touch on it? We should
Yeah, we
probably
can touch on it. Yeah, we can go.
I mean, that
It
game was
wasn't
just
too much.
Ohio State. It was
Yeah.
Ohio State the whole time. No, I don't even think there's much to say. It was Ohio
Yeah.
State the whole time. They won the game handedly, and
It
Notre
should
Dame
have
did
been
just
52
enough.
to 7.
Notre Dame did just enough to ruin everyone's parlays and bets, and that's about it.
Yeah, I don't
They
even want to
didn't
talk
really
about
do
it. I'm
much
upset.
else.
I might have live bet a good amount of money multiple times on like the Ohio State spread because I genuinely thought the Notre Dame was never going to score again. But yeah,
I threw a pretty nasty. Gonna flex a little bit. I threw a pretty nasty pick out.
it was a pretty nasty pick.
Ohio
I didn't take
State
it. I didn't see it in
Plus
time.
4,000 to score every drive of the first half. There was an option for the game or the second half, but kneels. We don't like that. It was an electric pick. They scored every drive of the first half. There was only 3, which is pretty crazy. Notre Dame's got a pretty good defense, but I mean, it was draft picks versus Catholics. I don't know what else to say. Notre Dame does have everyone coming back next year, like everybody.
Except not everybody.
I still don't. Oh,
Shout out to defensive coordinator for Notre Dame is now the defensive coordinator for the Bengals.
congratulations.
Yeah. Okay, good for him. So
That's all I
that
gotta
was a
say.
big part of their defense. So they're gonna have a new defensive coordinator there. But yeah, there's nothing. If you watch the game, it was an Ohio State game until the fourth quarter when it was kind of like the Eagles game. It was Eagles the whole time, but then Notre Dame kind of came back and then had a chance, and then it was over. So, congratulations, Ohio State. 2-time national champions now, 2014, 2024, or 2015, 2025. I want to touch on the Dodgers for a second and how
Yeah.
ridiculous this is. I'm going to read. The Dodgers have signed, including the roster they already have existing with Shohei Ohtani, Freddie Freeman, Mookie Betts. They have re-signed Teoscar Hernandez. They have signed Hae-Sung Kim from Japan, not Ha-Sung Kim, Dylan. They have signed Blake Snell, 2-time Cy Young winner. They have signed Kirby Yates, closer. They have signed Tanner Scott, closer. They have signed Roki Sasaki, 23-year-old phenom from Japan, who throws 107-mile-an-hour, whatever, ghost fork slider. He's disgusting. They signed Michael Conforto as a depth piece, which he's a starting left fielder on 25 teams probably. They signed Blake Trinan back, closer. And they signed Clayton Kershaw back, which is probably a complimentary piece as a 6th starter in the rotation. Their rotation is Shohei Ohtani, who's coming back to pitching now. Oh yeah, don't forget he can pitch too after he just had a 50-50 season. Blake Snell, Tyler Glasnow, Yoshinobu Yamamoto, Roki Sasaki, Clayton Kershaw. That's not including Gavin Stone, Bobby Miller, who kind of stinks, but Dustin May. They have 4 or 5 good pitching prospects that are sitting behind 6 legit all-star pitching, and they have all the hitters in the world, including including Conforto, Chris Taylor. Is Tommy Edman? Yeah, Tommy Edman's still there, I think. All these guys utility and bench pieces. Their team is disgusting. They've spent $380 million. They're $79 million over the 4th tax threshold. They're paying 110% of salaries over that limit. So they're paying so much money in fees, but their team is disgusting. And I don't know what the MLB has to do to like. I don't think they have to do anything. I don't think anything should be done with the salary cap. I think this should just encourage other teams to spend because there's teams out there that have like $60 million payrolls, and like, what are you doing? Like, I think this is. I don't think the Dodgers aren't doing anything wrong. I don't blame the Dodgers for doing this, but it's just like it's going to create I think kind of like the NFL season this year, like where there's a big gap in teams, 14-win teams, 2-win teams. This is going to create a big gap, I think, where it's like Dodgers, Yankees, Phillies, Braves, Mets, and then no one, because there's just some like White Sox, Marlins, A's. They got no one, and who wants to go there and be the only guy there? I think I said the MLB can't do anything. The MLB should add a floor. There should be a salary floor where a team has to reach a certain threshold, maybe, or certain fines or fees come in. I'm ranting. Do you have anything to say about the Dodgers? I know you're not the biggest baseball guy, but
I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but I mean, I know math and I know how things work, and it's like I'm curious, what happens if you put a floor in place and teams can't spend that? What do you do? Does the owner have to sell the team? What do they decide to do in a situation where there's a floor?
Well, I'm not. I haven't worked out the logistics of the floor, but they're obviously not going to add anything. But I think just teams should. I don't know. It seems like some teams just, some owners, not teams, some owners just don't want to spend. They just want to own the team, and that's that. But there's other owners like Steve Cohen and the Dodgers owner and the Phillies owner that actually are trying to win championships. Other team owners are just being a CEO.
What do you have against a salary cap?
I have nothing against it. Baseball's never had a salary cap, and I don't think they need one. There's never been any issues, and you never know. The Dodgers could have 4 injuries, key injuries, and they could make playoffs, and they can get first rounded like they do every year. This could not matter. So I don't really like. It's baseball. You got to play 162 games. It's like the ultimate telling of like if the team is actually the best, because you play 162 games to get seeded, and then every series is 5-7-7. So those 5-game series are quick to lose in, and then those 7-game series, you got to win 4 games against a team. So it's I wouldn't say give them the trophy. It's not over. We've seen worse teams. The Diamondbacks beat the Phillies when the Phillies were clearly the better team. Dodgers lost every year in the first round for the past whatever years, except when they won the World Series. Playoffs are you never know what can happen in playoffs. So I'm not like too upset by it. It's just like crazy that like every day someone signs to the Dodgers, and it's like,
no, I agree.
I get the players want a ring, but it's like, come on, like sign somewhere else. Don't be that guy to join the super team.
I agree with you. I mean, it's pretty obnoxious, and I'm not even huge into the baseball scene, and it's just annoying to see. Like, I don't know. I don't like love what they did with deferring contracts. Like what's going to happen in the future when they have all this money that they have to pay.
I mean, I don't care about deferring contracts.
I don't know how that works.
That's been happening in the NFL for years, and no one cares about it. So
that's pretty extreme now in the MLB, though. No. Like, what are they going to do in years when they're just spending? It doesn't matter because there's no cap.
The thing is, every team could do that. So it's not like you can yell at the Dodgers for deferring money, but the A's could have offered them the same exact contract.
You're right.
The A's owner has the capabilities of doing the same thing. They're just the willingness to do it. So I'm hoping this maybe increases spending for teams and owners in the future.
Yeah.
But I was going to say that it's just ridiculous because now the Dodgers literally have too many like star caliber players that they're going to have to trade like 3 players just to have 40 men on the roster.
Right. Yeah. It's
like
pretty nuts.
They signed Kirby Yates like yesterday because Michael Kopech is out for a month to start the season. So they signed an all-star closer because their one reliever is out for a month. It's like they're going overboard.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, I don't blame them. I mean, if they can do it, do it. But it's annoying as a fan. I don't know if annoying is the right word. Maybe obnoxious or frustrating.
Yeah, it's obnoxious. Sorry, I think I was talking a little loud there. I was getting a little close to the mic. I was getting pretty heated, so sorry if I was a little loud.
That's deserved, dude. That's what we're here for.
We can move on.
All right, look,
there's enough Dodgers talk.
We got about 5 minutes. I know we're talking about doing a couple minutes, but maybe we just give you 1 minute. I don't think I need a minute today. But I've heard you've been pretty eager to give us a minute. Would you like to do that?
I didn't prepare for the minute. Wait, do I need? Oh, yeah, let me just think about it for a second. I think I can just rattle it off. Yeah, I mean,
We can pause if you want.
Nah, I can just do it. So
All right.
I think we're gonna start giving. I'm gonna give a weekly wrestling recap for a minute, or roughly a minute. Sorry if I go a little over. Maybe it'll be a little under if there's not a lot going on. But I'm a wrestling fan, and as my friends are, my family is. If you like wrestling, let us know in the comments. I can talk about it more extensively if you'd like, but probably not. I'll keep it to a minute.
I will say before you get into it, I don't watch any WWE, but when I do, if you're someone like me who watched when you were younger, there's so many guys that are still around. And
yeah, now's the time to get back in. It's electric. It is electric now.
It's fairly electric.
I went to WrestleMania in Philly last year, so it was incredible.
And it's like there's no Monday Night Football or anything to miss. It's fun. I won't lie. But all right, I'll count you in.
Okay.
All right, we got.
I did not prepare for this. I prepared for like our first episode, then we didn't do it, so I have no notes.
That's perfect. That's perfect.
Maybe I'll have something.
We got 3.
I can still use
2, 1. Go for it.
Okay, so Raw has debuted on Netflix 3 weeks ago. I'll just give a recap, kind of general overview because it's the first time. We saw Penta debut on Raw. Lyra Valkyria won the first ever Women's Intercontinental Championship. The Royal Rumble is just around the corner. It's on February 1st. 30 men, 30 women, 1 winner. It's electric. People have declared for it. It's going to be stacked. Roman Reigns is in it. CM Punk, Drew McIntyre. Seth, that was 30 seconds already. I don't even know what to say. The 30 seconds threw me off.
I'll extend you. I'll extend you.
Okay, Tiffany Stratton cashed in on Nia Jax a couple weeks ago to win the women's title. We've been seeing a lot of movement. They're doing a transfer window right now. I don't even know what's on next week's episodes. I didn't prepare. This is a bad week.
That's fine. We'll give a little preview. Next week we'll get them back better.
Yeah, the Royal Rumble, we're getting Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins in a ladder match for the WWE Undisputed Championship. And yeah, Saturday night's main event is this week. We're getting Sheamus versus Braun Breaker for the Intercontinental title. Sheamus has never won it. Only title's never won. We're getting main event Jey Uso versus Gunther for the World Heavyweight title. We're getting Nia Jax versus Rhea Ripley for the women's. We're getting Braun Strowman versus Jacob Fatu in like a monster versus monster meat on meat action. And then we're getting a contract signing for that Cody Kevin match. So yeah, a little bit of a scuffed first 2 minutes probably right there, but now that we got the base for it, I'll have a more formal one next week. We can roll out, and that'll be 1 week for the Rumble, so I can give some more Royal Rumble stuff.
Perfect. I love it. That was just about 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's fine.
Not bad.
It's fine. Debut
Take
2 minute.
We'll get better at that.
We'll get better at it. I had notes prepared for like 3 or one first episode. I had notes prepared for everything, like quick things to say. But I didn't do that this week because I figured we just would keep, it's been on the list to talk about every week, but we always just talk about for other stuff for too long, and it's easy just to kick this to the curb.
Love it. Puts us almost at an hour. Anything else you want to touch on for a few minutes? If not, I got a question for you. If you don't have anything, I've got a question that's going to stump you.
Okay, I want the question now.
Would you rather fight one Joe Rogan-sized duck or 100 duck-sized Joe Rogans?
Oh, one Joe Rogan-sized duck. I feel like that's kind of easy.
One Joe Rogan-sized duck.
They don't have arms.
Dude, the beak of a duck. Imagine how big that duck would be. That's like...
imagine I just pull out a gun.
Nobody said you could have a gun. Dude, I don't even know if a gun
You're telling me
penetrate.
I can't have a... You're telling me I can't have a gun in Trump's America?
It's like your door opens right now. You have everything in your room to prepare. It's either 100 little Joes. It's either 100 little Joes or 100 100 little Joes or one gigantic duck?
Well, just the 100 would just overwhelm you. You cannot deal with 100 of anything at once. Like, it would overwhelm you. I feel like the one you can at least focus on, and it's a duck, so they're pretty like malleable. I feel like I could maybe get in there, give it a little crack the neck.
That's fair. I've seen like geese. Have you ever seen geese, bro? They're scary.
Geese
I
are
can't say I've ever
scary.
seen a duck in like fighting posture. I might modify this question for the future to be geese.
I do.
Because,
Yeah, I think 100 was
they-
too much. Maybe 50. Maybe 50 might be a better number.
fair. Okay, that's fair.
I do own, for the unaware, I don't know, in my house we have like 30 chickens and ducks, so I'm pretty experienced with chickens and ducks. Yeah, and I like, they can be pretty scary if they start running at you. So I think 50,
Yeah,
but
well-
like, yeah, I have like 30 and like I can handle that, but 50, and if they were like little people, that'd be pretty scary.
They probably have like a hive mind. Like if they were Joes, they'd probably like create like a human ladder, and then there'd be like Joes all over you. Joe
Yeah,
would
exactly.
be all over
And
you.
they could like bite. They could give you like little bites on your skin and start like pinching you. It'd
And if
be
you think
100's too
about like
much.
how big, it's not like they're this big. Like that would be a dude like this big.
It'd be like a wrestling like buddy. Like, you know, you don't watch wrestling, I guess, but there's like wrestling buddies that are like, they're like little pillows.
I do know what you're talking about.
But Joe Rogan's in like human skin.
Yeah, and he's trained in a couple different art forms, I think.
That is true. Yeah, I'm definitely taking. Yeah, you're just
So,
convinced me more
it's
to take
probably
the
big
duck.
I think
Yeah, the
you're
big
right.
duck.
I think you're right.
You got anything else to talk about?
I don't know. Do we want to give anyone a shout out today?
Yeah, I guess we can wrap it up here. Do you have anybody shout out? We can each give a shout out.
To be honest, no. Actually, I'll give a shout out to my boy Sean. He's been pretty active, giving us some feedback. I'm gonna stay up late tonight, unfortunately, and put together the timestamps this week, so you'll actually be able to skip ahead. But he's been giving us good feedback.
Don't skip ahead, though. Watch the whole thing.
He's highly confident. Well, you can skip back and then go back and watch the whole thing.
Well, yeah, just watch it. Just watch it twice. Watch it full, and then watch it again where the parts you want to see.
Yep. But I will give him a shout out because he's been very supportive. He's been watching our episodes. He was looking for a little sneak peek, and I was like, brother, I didn't record yet.
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Sean reached out to me. He's been very nice. I'll give a shout out to Reese. Reese texted me that he watched both first two episodes. Appreciate it, Reese. If you want to tell us that you watched the episode this week, the word of the week, I gave it last week. It's your turn.
Okay. I'm going to go with popsicle.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
The word of the week is popsicle. So drop a popsicle to us if you watched the entire gauntlet of our voices.
What's the goal this week?
I'm trying to think. I'm trying to be realistic. I was going to say like 100 likes, but we're not getting 100 likes.
Let's say we could say 100 views.
100 views and 25 likes?
25. I think we
I like
got
25 likes.
How many did we get last week?
Let's pull it up.
I think it was like 8.
Our first episode performed much better than our second episode. I think I got them both favorited.
Oh,
our first
if
episode,
we
our
hit
first
the goal-
episode got 70 views. Our second episode got 30 views.
If we hit 100 likes
100.
on any episode,
Like once we reach
any
100.
episode, then I'll buy a better camera so I can zoom out, to see my big ass head in the middle of the camera the whole time.
We did get we got 10 likes on our first episode. We have 12 subscribers now. Wildcard round was last. And our second episode, I'm trying to see how many likes it got. You want to take a timeout? Our second episode got 4 likes. So the fall off is crazy. We might not be able to afford the pod next week. So please, Trevor put some ads on it this week, and
Yep.
sponsors reach out to us and tell your kids, tell your wives to watch the T&T Timeout.
Yep. Currently, this is coming directly out of my paycheck, so. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching. Leave a like, comment, subscribe. Appreciate it.